trying to do a video, and this is take number 3. All kinds of things keep happening here. Phone shuts down. It's not even hot out. I don't know what to do. But anyway, and I'm doing it in vertical format just to get on the nerves of one particular feller named J.J. Johnson at J.J. Drones. Because I know he hates us, and he's going to be having nightmares tonight. Welcome to the club. I have nightmares every night. So anyway, just we're talking about kitty cats today. Kitty cats, little feline, meow, one of them little critters. So when I lived up where I used to live, it was a house. It's kind of made up into like 3 apartments. So I lived on, as you're facing the house, I lived on the left side, and then it was the main house, a little bit of the larger type residence, and then on the other side it was another apartment. So the people in the middle unit, there always seemed to be transitioning going on there, which was never a good thing. There's, we had quite a few different folks come in there. But the guy on the right side and me on the left, we got along pretty good, and till I parted ways up there. But he used to feed a little black kitty cat, one of the what do you call it, the feral cats that had the ear clipped. I think they clipped the left ear, just clipped just a little bit of the tip off. And I remember the ear being clipped. I think it's the left ear. Don't quote me on it. But this little kitty cat was so beautiful, pure black, right? Pure black, and just so daggone funny, very vocal. I've only really been subjected to like 3 cats in my life. One when I was a kid. 2 with an old relationship gal years ago. She had a really nice cat named Chloe. That cat was like the most vocal cat I've ever heard. And then this little feral cat, black cat, I call her Miss Kitty. The other guy, I just think he just called her Cat or something. I don't know. I don't even think he ever named the cat, but he would feed the cat like later in the afternoon because he would stay up all night doing like gaming and stuff like that. And he was a heavy set fella on disability, so he would stay up and play blackjack and stuff. So he had weird hours, but I was, guy going to work every day. So every day at 6 a.m., Miss Kitty would come to my apartment door and sit out there and just meow up a storm. She could tell, I was awake if she saw the light on or heard any, me, rumbling around in there. So she was basically out there, demanding to be fed. So, I caved in, being the weak American that I am. So I started feeding her, real nice kitty cat. And it took her a little while for her to, warm up to me. But I would always put out food and water for her, and then it became a regular thing. And she was, oh my gosh, she was such a sweet little kitty. She would always purr and meow and talk. You talk to her, she would talk back to you, just like Chloe, the other kitty. But Miss Kitty was a pure black cat, right? So I would do a lot of like late night bonfires, and she would come around later. It was funny. She would always come around early in the morning, like around 6, and then she would come around 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and because the other guy was, either busy or whatever. But then I would feed her a lot of times in the evening. So then we have this thing down here in Florida, Southwest Florida. They're called cane toads. They're like big critters, but they're poisonous, and they tend to get in like cat food. So even though they're considered a toad, they really don't hop. They just kind of drag their behind a little bit. So basically, I found out through talking to a friend that works for a vet, you have to put the food up on a higher. So I started to put the food up, and then those cane toads could no longer affect the eating the food for Miss Kitty. So I would do these bonfires. Miss Kitty would always come up, and we would sit there. We would just have a bonfire. I'd put it like a seat cushion pad on my lap, she would sit up there and she would just purr. And I would just talk to her, and she would look up at me and go, meow. And we were having our own little conversation. I never knew what she was saying, but apparently she liked what I was saying. I liked what she was saying too, so it was a mutual relationship. And she was so daggone funny. And we had this ritual. I mean, we did this for years. It was just a beautiful little kitty. It was so funny how it just came to be. And like if I ever missed like I call it a cycle or a time period, I would be really worried about her. Like, did something happen to her or whatever. And like I told you, the middle residents there, they, well, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the price of the rent or whatever, but they never really seemed to keep anybody there too long. So this one lady had moved in, and she always played like she was a tough guy. Like I don't know how to describe it. I'm not here to bash anybody. Just trying to tell you the truth. But she had a real nice, like, I don't know what she had, like a Camaro or something. But this was a wild cat. So sometimes she would get up on my neighbor's pickup truck, and I've always parked on the other side of the house. I never had to worry about it. I would have never worried about it anyway if the cat did. But every once in a while, the cat would get on her car and just like take a nap on the hood of her car, and the lady really didn't like that, so she had problems with it. So I'll never forget one evening, I come outside because I knew it was like almost 7 o'clock at night. So I'm yelling like, Miss Kitty, and she would always, run, usually between the hedgerow, between, the hedges and the house. And I'm doing that. And this other crazy lady, I think her name, I'm trying to remember her name. I think it was Linda something. But she starts yelling and cussing at me and just telling me that, she's going to off this cat, and if it gets on her, so I didn't get any dialogue. I just kind of just chuckled and just went on with my life. Well, sure as heck, 2 days later, Miss Kitty was never seen again. So she either did one of two things, or both of these scenarios. Took the cat for a long one-way trip out in the country, hopefully alive, or took the cat on a one-way trip not alive. So I was so ticked off because I know she was the culprit. Couldn't prove it, but based on her previous comments, that one particular evening and other days, I pretty much know, and other conversations, this lady was pretty much very unstable. So the other guy was really upset too, because he had lived there longer and he had a better relationship with the kitty cat. So anyway, it's funny, like, I love dogs. I did an episode recently about dogs, and sometimes cats can grow on you. And hopefully I can find a picture of Miss Kitty and include it as a thumbnail, just to see how, hopefully you're not going to be able to tell by one picture. If I knew how to do a slideshow, you know what, I may have deleted those pictures now that I think about it. Maybe I can get them off of that famous Zuckerberg platform. Anyway, folks, if you love animals, they're going to love you back, and vice versa. Anyway, peace out, folks. Let's talk again soon. Hopefully, I know what I'm talking about. Peace out.